Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot pick a card reading. In today's reading, we are going to be diving into the person on your mind, what is in their heart versus their mind when it comes to you. So we'll be able to see any kind of misalignments or struggles that they're dealing with in that area, and also maybe what can potentially happen in the future if they do sort that out. And just kind of see where they're headed, between the two, if they're leading more with their head or their heart, that sort of thing. So that being said, make sure you get yourself into a receptive mode. If you need to know how to do that, please check out my video link down below, as always, on how to pick a card using your intuition. But once you are good to go, we have our group 1, group 2, and group 3. Timestamps will be provided below, as always. I'll see you at your time. Hey, group 1, we're going to get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about, for the person on your mind, what is in their heart versus their mind when it comes to you. So we have the before tarot, which will show what is in their mind, and then we have the sexual magic, I think tarot is what it's called, to show what's in their heart, and then we'll dive in more and more. But first, let's place these cards here. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, excuse me, that's the 5 of Wands, the Devil. It's funny I said 10 of Wands, though, I see why. And the Fool. Let me adjust this just a little bit. There we go. And then we have the 4 of Wands, the Devil again. That's crazy. We have the King of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and Strength. Alrighty, so this is very interesting right off the bat. Let me try to line this up a little bit better. All right, good enough, whatever. I'm gonna keep messing with it. It's not gonna be perfect. That is on point for this energy, though. I think it's funny because I'm over here really wanting it to be perfect, but then like when I started this reading, I did not care. So that just goes to show the energy shift between, me and your person. That's kind of how I like to channel messages, is through clearing myself and letting energies work through me, and then, over time realizing what exactly the differences are. So that was one thing that I noticed, is that, like I said, I did not care how straight my camera was, and now all of a sudden I'm super self-conscious of it. So that makes a lot of sense, though, here, because with the Devil coming out for their head and their heart, this person is very focused and like hyper fixated on doing it right. And I think that can be something that you probably really appreciate about this person. You find them to be very level-headed about certain things. It's funny because I don't think they're always super level-headed, but I do think that the things that you would expect them to handle with some sort of, grounding, I think they do handle that. So that's just kind of a side note. But so what we're seeing right now in their head, let's start with that. So we have the 9 of Pentacles here, and the Knight of Pentacles, and then we move into some interesting territory. But these two right here are really what I was saying about that grounded energy. I think they think of you as being somebody that also has that similar goal about, being grounded and doing grounded work. So this is somebody that could be very interested in practical work, earthly things, material things, like I don't know, something about this person feels very productive, and in their mindset, they also see you as being productive. I think they see you as being someone who is also able to handle the challenges in their life with a sort of dutiful approach, like knowing that it's meant for you to deal with. Because this person is also very, I'm hearing like indebted. I don't even know if that's like a word or like how you would say that, but like they very much have like almost karmic debt, you would say, to sort of the mundane things and focusing on, their money, their resources, their position at work, like those sorts of things. So I feel like when it comes to their head and like their mind about you, I feel like they're very focused on trying to see you or this situation as maybe part of one of those material things that they're able to work on. So it's not giving so much of like a fix it energy as much as it is like this is an area where they still feel useful even if they're having fun, which is not something they normally feel. I think if anything, this person can feel very like drained and dutiful to kind of these calls to actions, and sometimes the more fiery energy can feel threatening and like it's like pressurizing this person. So, but it's funny because with you, I feel like you have kind of showed this person a new way to experience that energy that is less harmful. Because remember how I said the 10 of Wands here? I feel like I was saying that because to them, it feels like they have had so much on their plate. It's really hard for them to shift focus and like, maybe fully focus on you or focus on the commitment. But there's still because maybe there's still some duties or physical things that they really need to hone in on and focus on and really master before they're able to move on and add more things on their plate. And that's what's funny with the 5 of Swords or 5 of Wands here. I keep getting this card wrong. So I feel like this person doesn't want to call a spade a spade. Like, I think in their mind, they don't want to say that there's conflict that's kind of blocking you guys. Like there's something here about not wanting to admit to the struggle. And I think, that's because this person is maybe a very stoic person, maybe very, it gives like fire sign energy, which is funny because I'm talking about all this practical energy. So they might also have earth, but like the fire and earth dynamic is kind of what I'm seeing play out here. So hold on one second. Let me close the window. They're mowing the lawn, of course. All right, back to it. And if you notice, I literally just adjusted the camera again. And the fact that I stopped this connection that I'm having with you to go and fix the windows is such their energy. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they have so much like energy, basically, like so much energy around them, and they are very aware of what they need to do in a very like prioritized sense of the word, where they have all these things, all these investments that over time they've seen a lot of growth in, and like they see a lot of positive feedback from that area of life. And it feels like like what I was saying with you, like you are almost this little pentacle that he's coming across here. It's like all this stuff that they already have going for them. But with this being the 9, it just needs that one more, which is the 10. So I feel like they have found you as a useful place that they can maybe build some kind of legacy, maybe build a career with, a family with. There's something here though about them finding you as that opportunity in their mind. So that is a very positive omen. But like I said, this person doesn't necessarily recognize that they are like almost preventing some kind of movement here because they don't want to fully admit the weight of the responsibility that either they need to have towards you or that they have towards other people and other things that are too much. That's why we see the Fool here with the Devil. I feel like this person really needs to lighten their load a little bit. And, I think part of that is through seeing that there is benefit in other areas of life. Like, this person seems to be one that can hyper focus on one area of life particularly. Like, they could have gone through a really hard party phase and then all of a sudden became a huge like work ethic sort of person, or then went on a phase where they were on traveling and vacations and on stuff all the time. Like, that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this person, is that when they commit, they do it, but then they like put all their energy into it. It's like very, very focused. So it feels like with you though, this is something that they are aware of, like I said, but there is a little bit of pride that we're kind of seeing here about actually admitting the weight of how everything is affecting them. And that's in their mind. It does feel like they may be a little bit honest, a little bit more honest, I should say, in their heart about that. But we will get into that in a second, because it does feel like, they try to keep things in their mind as like a practical sort of thing. Like, okay, I'm doing this because I'm going to, better my position, like I said, better my circumstance. And maybe they see you as kind of like a trophy in a way, where it's like, this person adds to my curb appeal, adds to my life. I don't think it's just that. I feel like they have a lot more deep feelings for you, which, like I said, we'll get into it, but on a very logical sense, they do see you as a positive asset to kind of sprinkle in to all the things that they already have going for them. But maybe they have a hard time with time specifically, and freeing up time because of all of this chaos, and maybe just like over identifying with these duties and with this constant chaos to fulfill this duty, like these duties that they feel like their priorities are, they're straight, but it's like they're almost hyper focused on their priorities, and they don't level it out with like their personal wants and needs. Oh my gosh, and I had to stop the reading again because all of a sudden I realized I was parched and needed to take care of that. So I feel like I'm channeling this person's energy super, super heavy right now. And it just feels like this person is so meshed. like I said, like they're grounded in their environment, but it's like too grounded where it's almost like overflowing. I mean, that's maybe the earth and fire element, where like fire is symbolic, and like if you think about fire and earth together, like fire takes over earth. So it feels like this person has so much enthusiasm to do and to solve and to be, that they almost spread themselves too thin, like I was saying earlier, and really just sporadically pop into these certain roles and do these certain things. And so it's just lacking some kind of consistency. And like I said, time is not really their friend right now. They're struggling with balancing how much time and energy they're spending on certain things. So if you are feeling like this person is kind of, keeping space from you, or is just hard to reach at times, it's because they have a hard time just recognizing what their energy is going to. And, at the end of the day, every single day when they're tired, they're not thinking, I misprioritized my energy. They're thinking, oh my God, I spent so much time at work, I'm tired. Like, it maybe hasn't hit them in their head yet that they are making kind of their own mess, basically. So let's get into the cute stuff though, because we have their heart layer down here, and I find it to be very romantically charged towards you. So we do have the Four of Wands. So this person really can see you as a collaborator in the sense of building a stable, bringing stability to that fiery energy. I mean, the Four of Wands is very much that. We have the 4, which is the number of stability, but then the Wands is, like I said, that fiery energy. So I think in this person's heart, they really feel like you are someone that is a great asset to them. Like I said, you're a little trophy in their eyes, and not in just looks, but like the assets that you have and that you carry. That's kind of what I see with this Nine of Pentacles. I think they almost see you too as like being really well off, and like they don't have much that they need to offer you. That's the very independent woman type that we're kind of seeing play out, or independent man, depending on who you are. But it's just this vibe of like, not always knowing what exactly you can bring to somebody because they seem pretty set. So I feel like this person likes that about you, like I said, because it's not like another nagging relationship where they feel like they need to throw their own needs and wants out the window in order to satisfy you or to make you happy, like every other relationship and connection that they're part of, which we're seeing here with the Devil here. I feel like this person knows that this is a long-standing relationship in the making. And, maybe it's already been long-standing. Maybe you guys have had some time with each other. But it does feel like this person sees it as something that they will have to eventually not necessarily submit to, but like the Devil is something that you have to admit to yourself that this is a weight, like I was saying earlier. So when it's coming from their heart like that, though, I feel like they have to admit to themselves where they might be letting their mind stop their heart, and vice versa almost, because we have the King of Swords here, and that is that, admitting to yourself. But there's something here that this person is not able to admit to themselves because they're just trying to keep things above board and just experience, a relief from the pressures that they're feeling, when you're not around, basically. And I feel like, even when they're with you, I think there's little blimps of like just the weight in this person's heart, you know, from doing all these things that they feel like they should be doing, but I feel like in their heart, you know, they know that this connection is what they want to be doing. Because we have the Two of Chalices here. I mean, that's like the mini soulmate card, as they refer to it in the tarot community. So it does feel like this person sees you guys as being able to connect, but sometimes that's the hard part. Like if we're looking at their mind being up here about it within the Devil, and then their heart is over here, like they want to be in a relationship with you, but their mind is so focused on duties that it feels like this needs to hit the back burner. And it's interesting too, because it's almost like they don't have the strength to love you how they want to love you until they free up this baggage. So there is some kind of confliction that we're seeing here with them for sure. Just this very like motivated to build a family and to, I don't know. I feel like this person really sees you as someone that they can plan a future with. And I don't think that that has been something that's come very easily to this person, because they seem to do a lot of work alone. And I think that's, maybe why you seem like a candidate to them, though, is because you also do a lot of work alone on yourself and on your life and creating something for yourself. So this person not only feels passion for that part of you, but I think that is truly what makes them feel like you are their person in a lot of ways. So let's pull you guys some more like little messages from them to see even more about what is in their heart and mind about you. All right, we have endings. My friends love you. I'm afraid of intimacy. I think I care more than you. Sensual AF. I have a hard time forgiving and forgetting. I need more attention, and one more. Oop, is this just in my head? So that's funny, because we were just talking about the whole endings thing of like needing to end things in order to open things up. I think with my friends love you, I feel like this person almost needs to feel like they will be respected if they close out a part of their life or a part of their focus for you. And so with this, my friends love you, I feel like that approval is very important. Because right now with the Five of Wands, it feels like this person doesn't feel some type of approval in their mind. Maybe if anything, my friends love you makes them realize how attractive you are to a lot of people and how many people want to be with you. And that can really frighten this person. Especially because it says that they're afraid of intimacy, and, with that being with the Devil that we've seen twice now, it makes me feel like this person is kind of worried if, you pick them too, if you see them in the light that they see you, because they have nothing but love for you in their heart. I guess they do have fear as well, for if they're good enough for you, but they know for sure that you are the one for them, but they are afraid of intimacy. They are afraid of putting themselves in a vulnerable position. And, with so much attention that you get from other people, I feel like this person gets really worried that they're not who you want or who you're interested in. That's why we have, I think I care more than you, because, self-explanatory. I think they get in their head because they care so much almost about setting things up, like the framework for things correctly, that they almost forget that like the meat is very important, like the feelings and sort of things. So, and the feelings in this context are your feelings. So I think this person thinks too much and they aren't feeling into the relationship to see that you actually feel the same way. We have, is this just in my head? So again, I think they have a lot of passion and they're like feeling like you could be the person that they could see themselves building a family with, but it's just really hard to believe that as true, because maybe this person has, invested in something like that and it went to shit before. So like, it just feels like this person is very honing in on, making sure fully. It's like they don't want to take a risk. They really want to make sure that they know 100% that this is going to be fruitful for them. So we have, I need more attention. With the King of Swords there too, it's really interesting because it feels like this person wants all the attention on them all the time. And consequently, that's what their heart wants. Their heart wants attention. So they could very much have like Leo energy, or like I said, be a fire sign, Sagittarius or Aries. But it does feel like this person can be a little bit like, I don't know, like oversatiated with attention. Like they, even if they aren't replying to you or messaging you or doing anything, like they still want you to kind of like poke at them or pay attention to them, which I think is funny because I think you are a very focused person and this person has put you in that element of wanting to like poke somebody and be like, oh, hello. So we have the Sensual AF coming with the Strength card here. So I feel like you guys actually have a very strong physical connection. And like I said, that pact with this dutiful fiery energy is very it's like a long-standing kind of heat that they feel towards you, so that's a good thing. But we do have, I have a hard time forgiving and forgetting, so maybe this person has just struggled in relationships in the past. I'm seeing that with like, I'm afraid of intimacy, the Two of Cups, the Devil. So I think this person is, you know, hanging on for dear life and they almost want to be hyper sure that you are, you know, quote unquote, the one for them, even though they know in their heart that that's the truth. But maybe they need more proof, and little do they realize that proof is going to come through them opening up that space in their life to actually see the proof and to actually maybe spend more time with you, because I feel like they need attention is what they say, but maybe you're the one that actually needs more attention. So yeah, I digress though. So group 1, this is your reading. So if you enjoyed it and felt that it resonated, please give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like so. If you want to book a personal reading, check out the link below to my snip feed. As always, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever else you might be. Otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle and I will see you guys in a later reading. Peace. Hello, group 2. We are going to get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about the person on your mind, what is in their mind and in their heart about you. So we're going to see the differences between the two, and then also kind of see where they might be headed with these energies or these conflicts that they might be dealing with. So that being said though, let's dive in. We have the Before Tarot to show us what's in their head, and then the Sexual Magic Tarot to show what's in their heart. So to get started, we have the 10 of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the 7 of Wands. Justice. And the 6 of Wands. Wow, we got a lot of fire going on over here. And let's see these cards. The Ace of Wands, still more fire. Good God. The 9 of Swords. The 6 of Swords. The King of Pentacles. And the Tower. So this is really interesting because I'm seeing like the fire of their heart in their mind and the stimulation of their mind in their heart. So we'll see if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because you're either, you know, really integrated or really backwards and confused. So let's figure out. So first and foremost, what's on their mind when it relates to you? We have the 10 of Cups, which is a very like happy ending kind of card, you know, the white picket fence fantasy with the family, that whole thing. This is the Before Tarot, so it looks like they're like kind of distressed, but they're about to run into a house and be safe, and there will be a rainbow. So it does feel like this person is a little bit inspired by you in that sense of like getting out of a bad time. They feel like, oh my God, I found somebody that I can kind of like find my happiness in, find my wonder in. I do feel like this person thinks a lot about what they have to do in order to really build things with you. And like, I don't know, in a sense, maybe they don't know exactly what they want, so they're trying to like figure it out. This gives me the vibe of somebody that, like I said, is coming out of a bad time. So maybe this is somebody that is coming out of another relationship, or, you know, recently came out of another relationship, or, you know, is coming out of a hard time. And that doesn't even have to be with a relationship. It can just be with life and circumstances, family, whatever. So with the 10 of Wands here, though, I mean, when it goes to 10 of Wands to then the 7 of Wands, that's you're losing 3. So it makes me feel like this person is really trying to imagine a new future, but realizes that they might have, you know, too many expectations, or I mean, that can be too much on your plate, but it feels like expectations more so. Like this person has a lot of great ideas about what things should be, what they can be. But I think in a way, this person needs to slow down a little bit and start to see that maybe not everything maybe what they want in life is not necessarily what is right for them. Because that's what I'm kind of getting here is like with the difference of 3, that makes perspective a big thing. And the 10s are all about having everything, basically. It's the end. So when you have 7 is more of a spiritual number. It's being guided by the universe, that sort of thing. You see him quite literally submitting right here, which will turn into like fighting for himself. So it's very interesting because it feels like this person has had a lot of expectations. Maybe they were really, you know, they were the type of person to be like, well, this is what I want, and had a whole list. You know, they could write out pros and cons. It gives me the kind of person that would have like a lot of icks and see a lot of people as not being good enough in their eyes, quote unquote. But it feels like in their head that is kind of shifting. You know, if they've placed judgments on you that were not necessarily positive, I feel like they're realizing through some humility that perhaps what they thought was what they wanted is not actually what they wanted, and not what they overall needed, honestly. I think this person with the Justice here focuses a lot on, like I said, those wins, and they don't necessarily ground it with this part of them that can understand the other side. Like they can be very like one way focused. So this does give the kind of vibe that I feel like I said, there will be humility in this person's mindset eventually, but they kind of start off really strong, being like, you know, like with a planner or checklist or something like that, like just being very meticulous about what is up to their standards and what makes them feel good. You know, we have a lot of air we have a lot of air down here, but we have a lot of water and fire up here, which is very emotional, very dramatic energy. It's not super logical and grounded to fact and reasoning. So I think this person in their head is very much coming from a place of like, where are they feeling an oomph? And sometimes they don't realize that oomph is overbearing and bulldozing. You know, I think they see that they have a lot of materials here though, and that eventually those materials, you know, might actually manifest to be what they want, but maybe there's some sorting that they need to do, or maybe there's something in, I don't know, maybe there's something in this relationship that is going to have to happen in order for them to realize that, wow, they actually got a good one. You know, it makes me think of like when you're courting somebody and, you know, everything's all light and fluffy because you're just trying to impress somebody, trying to get them to like you, but then maybe the serious stuff happens and you have to address something. But I think that can make somebody like you more. Like it makes me think of like with my friends, for example, where everything was great and blah, 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 everything goes good. And then, you know, we talk about something, and instead of being a yes man, like how some people's friends can be, my friends will give me real actual input and, you know, be like, well, this standard's too high, or this is too much. Like, you're not, like, it's just being very mindful of things. And like I said, like surrendering almost to the fact that life is not perfect. Things are not perfect. They don't have to be perfect though for them to be worthwhile and good. So it feels like this person is really on track to learn that lesson. But in their mind, I feel like they have to go through that process of like, you know, experiencing all of this happiness or all of this darkness before they realize that there is something on the other side. And that can be really all consuming to them. It can make them feel like kind of wrapped up in things. So that's interesting. Now, what is in their heart about you, group 2? We do have the Ace of Wands. So they do have a very strong attraction to you. I mean, with all the fire here, they are very, very, very attracted to you on a sexual level, on that fiery level of chemistry. So it's interesting though, because while in their heart, they know that there is potential here, they have so many hangups that really show their own guardedness, you know, where their walls are. Because I think this person has had so many great ideas about what would be good. You know what, this is a kind of specific example. I don't think it's going to resonate with everybody, but I will just keep it up. Or I'll just keep it up. I will explain it. Like, I'll just keep it out there. So it makes me feel like somebody who has spent a lot of time maybe online or watching people from a distance, and thus creating these sort of standards through, not a very close line of vision. I feel like this person is, maybe has astrology placements that are, between Libra and Pisces, or like a lot of planets in the 7th to 12th houses, because their energy is very much focused on the bigger picture. But I think their bigger picture is actually kind of not delusional necessarily, but it's got some delusions in it. Like, they haven't really grounded the fact that what they want in practical sense might look different and still be the same thing. Like, it's just kind of a confusing little thing to them. What I was going to say for a specific example is like somebody that watches pornography, like if that's all you're doing all the time is focusing on that, you're going to have a really different feeling and understanding as it comes to like having real life sex. So that's kind of what I'm kind of feeling with this person. So we do have the 6 of Swords here with that 9 of Swords. So again, a difference of 3. I think this person is very much working on trying to get past these sorts of humps that they have. Maybe they notice that they kind of run into this pattern a lot, but with the 6 of Swords, I feel like they do feel like you could be someone to help them get out of this pattern, because you've made them, I don't know, I feel like you work with their walls in a way where like they see you, because like it makes me feel like this person, like, because they had high standards, if they were to put walls up to people, most people would feel rejected. Most people would feel like they weren't good enough for this person. But with you, I feel like you don't see it that way. If anything, you know that this person just has walls that have nothing to do with you and that have everything to do with their lack of experience, but having so much, like, this person's mature, but they lack experience. So they have a very, understanding way of how something's going, but they haven't practically ever done it. This is like somebody that was in nursing school but they've never done a clinical, you know what I mean? Like they're missing that practical application. And that's what with relationships, they know what a happy relationship looks like, but they feel it, but then all of this other clutter kind of comes in because they lack that practical application, and they can be very in their head, about, what checks boxes and what doesn't. This is somebody that is very logical in that sense, which is funny because I said that they're not coming off very logical in their head and heart, but I feel like maybe the ways that their head and heart learn to mainly their heart learns to process things, it becomes a very logical thing where they're really kind of chewing and ruminating on things. The 6 of Swords is always about moving into like calmer grounds. So maybe this person does need to have that flash of like, oh yes, oh no, all right. Like that's kind of the vibes that we're getting from their heart. And that's the thing, is like your heart is not always very spoken words. It can be more of a feeling or like a tone. And so the tone here is like a change of, like I said, feeling that to being really nervous that you felt that oomph, because it's like, oh my God, well, now we have so much we have to build. I'm kind of looking this as like these people are running to them to build their house for them, and they're like, oh crap, like we're not ready for it. But then this is, to me, it's like submitting to the work that you have to do. So I think this person is, with their heart, they're able to mull around this topic a little bit and actually learn that, okay, maybe they can do something here. Now, what we have here is interesting, because this King of Pentacles imagery always gives me this very like brash, like controlling energy, because he's like walking in on her and she almost looks like nervous and like, oh my God, you like caught me kind of thing. So with the Justice card here, I think maybe in their heart, they're almost waiting to catch you slip up. And and that's the pain that this person has experienced in the past, is that I feel like they were right when in the past, when they held off waiting for people to fuck up, the people did fuck up. They had the issue. So that's why we have the Tower here with the 6 of Wands. So this person really is thinking that in their head, they're going to escape any kind of Tower moment, and they're going to maintain their position and stay stable. But it doesn't feel like that is going to be what happens here, because I feel like their shakeup in their heart is going to make them realize how much they want something. I mean, the King of Pentacles, well, while he's a king, and kings are normally stoic and really good about just kind of getting what they want, this king almost feels like he's going to freak out when he realizes that he didn't land something. You know, he wasn't being fair almost in his mind, and his heart might start to realize that he wasn't being fair to his heart by judging somebody so mentally instead of feeling into the situation. So that could be this Tower moment here. I'm actually going to pull another card to see what that Tower moment is. We have the Seven of Wands. You know, that's funny because when I was shuffling for your cards, this did come out, but I put it back because I was like, no, we already have what we want. So the fact that it just came out again just goes to show that I feel like this person is going to see that they want what they want, and surrender to it. You know, this is the same card that we see up here. So it feels like they are going to surrender to you, and it's going to take maybe this fear of not coming out on top, which to them, it used to look like, you know, being preserving their position was them coming out on top. But in reality, it feels like them, like they're going to realize them coming out on top is coming out with you. That's what they really want. And that was the inspiration all along. But because they get wrapped up in this self-preservation sort of thing, they lose track of their goal entirely. And that can be really devastating to relationship dynamics, and has been devastating to relationship dynamics in the past. So let me pull some more cards to see. All right, we have Just Friends. So this could be someone that is keeping you in limbo in like a friends with benefits situation. Like they want to be with you, but they're like nitpicking you. So they're like, you know what I mean? Like they're not able to like fully commit. And it's funny that they would say just friends though too, because like I think you both know that you guys are not just friends. Yeah, we have You're So Interesting. Say My Name, which that's always a cry for intimacy. You're my soulmate. Yeah, just friends. Addicted. Just friends. Okay, see, I just want to laugh at this person because, like I said, like, they have such a strong feeling about you, but they try to preserve themselves. Like, they said, nope, we're just friends. It's all chill. Like, it's whatever. But it's like they know in their heart that they are, like, you're my soulmate. You are so interesting. You've kept me on my toes. Like, I can't not help but to, like, you know, want you, I feel like, is a thing here. Yeah, we have Jealous AF. And then Twin Flame Vibes, and one more. You're so special to me. Wow. So this person is very much in love with you. I just want to say it. Like, I didn't want to say it because I'm like, dang, that sounds really bold. But this person is bold. And that's why, you know, maybe they're jealous about the fact that they are that intrigued by someone. You know, I think when you are such a self-preserving type person, when another person kind of pulls you out of that energy, that does kind of activate this jealousness. And it's like, it's really hard to explain because it's not like the normal jealousy where it's like, I want that, or I wish I was like that, or I want what they have sort of thing. It's more so like they see that you have this quality that is being able to withstand their test without necessarily passing them. You know, like, you don't have to pass the test. And this person has always been very focused on passing tests and being, you know, adequate. So for you to be someone that I feel like no matter how you kind of do things, like, that's the friends vibe. As friends to me is a very accepting energy. So I feel like this person has been judging you like they're looking to date you, but then, like I said, they're covering with the just friends. And it feels like this back and forth between their head and the heart, where they kind of say that, like, their head is like, oh, no, we're just friends, and like wanting to talk to you and is like really addicted to talking to you, but like knows that they have kind of like their own things to look at and lists to check off, basically. You know, their heart is like undeniably like like, you're so interesting, you're my soulmate. I'm kind of jealous of the fact that, like, you know, you make me feel like this because I don't want you to make me feel like this because you didn't check the boxes, sort of thing. Like, and then we have You're So Special to me. So their heart is screaming with love and abundance for you. And it's like I said, it's only a matter of time before they realize, like, they don't want to lose you. And that's the jealous AF with, like, the Knight or the King of Pentacles here. Like I was saying, like, the King of Pentacles is normally able to just sit back and be like, this is mine. But, like, it feels like they get up and they're like, no, this is mine. Like, I can't not have this. It also makes me think of like addicted and jealous AF. It makes me think of like when you're hitting a vape and like then all of a sudden you don't have your vape and you don't even realize how addicted you are until you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I want that vape now. Like, so maybe that's something here that this person, like, they need some time away from you because of their like lack of good judgment on the situation before they do start to see the other side of the sword and realize like, oh wait, like this is actually solving a lot of things in me that I forgot were problems. Basically, this person can forget their own problems when they're judging other people, and you know, sometimes they don't even see how other people's quote unquote problems are actually solutions to the things that they have problems with. So is it even that problem? No, it's just like their checklist is just a little faulty. And like I said, they're a very emotional person, so I don't think they realize that they kind of lead from that part, especially because in their heart, you know, they feel very logical and like they ruminate and like they really try to do what's best. But over intellectualizing your heart can make it louder. Basically, it just makes it stronger, and you know, it can be more confusing because you're kind of like trying to fight with it. So I feel like that's kind of where this person is coming from. But yeah, group 2, I hope that message resonated for you guys and you liked it. And if it did, please give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading, check out the link below as always to my snip feed. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and of course, anywhere else that you might be at online. But otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle and I will see you guys in a later video. Peace. Hey, group 3, last but certainly not least, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today. All about, for the person on your mind, what is in their mind versus their heart when it comes to you, and how is all that coming together? What might be coming in the future of this connection? So let's talk about it. We have the Sexual Magic Tarot to show what's on their heart, and then the Before Tarot to show what's on their mind. I will be pulling from another deck to get some more messages. So let's see what we got. Excuse me, I keep burping. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Swords. Ooh. And then for their heart, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, that's funny. We have the Four of Chalices, the Knave of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Chalices. Wow, okay. This person feels kind of torn. Like, first thing, I think with having all the knights in their heart, that gives them a very proud, like, position, but also one that I feel like they, I don't know, they don't want to do too much. So let me backtrack here. What is in this person's mind about you, starting with the Ace of Pentacles? I mean, obviously that is an opportunity in the physical world that is granted to you. That's what the Ace of Pentacles means. However, it feels like to me this is a collaboration. Maybe something about this, because we have two hands here. So there's something about this where I feel like this person thinks that you guys have similar goals, similar aspirations, or there's something about your energy that this person's like, wow, I can collaborate with them. Now, I think what's hard right now is that they don't know exactly where your collaboration efforts are even worth, like where they should put them, I should say. It feels like because with there only being a singular pentacle, it's like, okay, we have a similar goal and everything, but like only one of us can have this pentacle at a time unless we hold it like this. And that takes a good amount of balance. So it's kind of interesting here because with that being paired with the Four of Pentacles, which is in their heart, it makes me feel like this person is actually really stingy. And while they might be open to, let's say, like, you know, working on this tangible goal together, maybe starting a physical relationship or a commitment, or you know, maybe you guys work together, like maybe there's something here where like this person feels a potential with you, but they're almost so concerned about like teamwork. Like, I don't know, I think this person does a lot of effort, but it just seems like in their mind they can be very like they can have ulterior motives, basically, where I think they are focusing a lot on what they want and what they can get from situations, in not a super positive way. I mean, it's not like overarchingly negative, but it does give a vibe of a very selfish person. And, you know, because the Four of Pentacles, this is a card about like holding your ground. And as you see here, like she is completely not interested in whatever he's doing here. And it's interesting because this is a very like, I mean, you see the fire. This is energy that needs to be stoked, but it almost makes me feel like, you know, you get your fire stoked by other people, by other things or whatever, or this person, I should say, in their heart, they get their fire stoked and they're like, all right, now I'm good to go. They might not give people credit for their collaborative efforts. So it feels like in their head, they aren't giving you that credit. They see that you are involved, but they don't see you as like a necessary staple just yet. And I say just yet because there's obviously room for development here. I feel like this person's in a very heavy development stage, which is why maybe their intentions are not as pure as you might want them to be. That Four of Pentacles, though, is kind of showing me that they are keeping their cards close to their chest. They're not really trying necessarily to connect as much as they are trying to maintain. Or take risk, I should say, as much as they're trying to maintain, which is interesting because in their mind, we have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. Both of those wands energy for a knight or a page is very like early stages of an idea and taking care of an idea. So with the Knight of Pentacles being down here too, you know, those two being paired, I feel like this person in their heart, they're very wary to give you like substantial evidence that this person cares about you. Because with the Knight of Wands, that's very easily like, oh yeah, I'm attracted to you, like whatever, like I'm gonna come rushing in and give you, you know, that one night stand or those cute little romantic moments or just like some inkling of like flirting or something like that it's like, oh, I do like you. But then it feels like with them coming to the Page of Wands and the Four of Cups, then they run away from it. It's like they wanted to, maybe it's a breadcrumb situation, but it almost feels like more like an immature like flash of like openness from this person that they immediately recognize and are like, nope, not gonna do that, I'm gonna put this back in the stone. Because this is like the energy of like pulling the stone or pulling the sword out of the stone, and this is, to me, it's like putting it back. You're like, no, I don't want to be the one. So this person is funny. They size themselves down a lot in their brain, and they minimize other people too. Like they minimize everything. It feels like they don't see the full picture, which is why the Wheel of Fortune is coming up here with the Knave of Pentacles. In their heart, with the Knave of Pentacles, they know that they are very immature at getting things to be grounded. Hence why in this card, he's like intoxicating her and she's just kind of like taking it, basically. So it makes me feel like this person in their heart feels like if they are going to get what they want in the grand scheme of things, that they have to be a little bit sly about it, you know, not necessarily a straight shooter is how I feel. The Wheel of Fortune is also all about kind of setting your aims on something and realizing that over time the wheel turns and that whatever was working out may not work out for you anymore, and that's kind of the change of your energy telling you that it's time to grow. So it makes me feel like this person is minimizing people and trying to utilize that to their advantage in some way, and it's going to burn them, honestly. With the Seven of Swords here, this is the card of being kind of shady and deceptive. So I feel like this person, especially with the Knight of Chalices, they find themselves like, if they feel like they're weak or something, that's when they might act from their heart. But it's not as honorable as that, because I feel like with their intentions in their mind being so selfish, it's like whatever they're presenting to you, that's why it's only coming out as like a knight or with the fours or the knave. Like that's immature energy, basically, and offering things either prematurely or something that's not going to have that much stability. Because we see that the Knight of Chalices here, in their heart, I mean, they want to come towards you and offer you something, but with that being paired with the Seven of Swords, like in their head, they're really thinking, how can I do this without having to give too much to this person? And I think they have, their ways of doing that. With the fours here of the chalices and the pentacles, I feel like they are very okay with withdrawing into the safety of their own position of where they're at emotionally and physically in the world. So they aren't looking to kind of outsource that with other people. There's a stinginess to them for sure when it comes to sharing kind of this goodwill feeling with you. And I don't think it's like overarchingly negative. Like I said, it feels like this person is just learning a lot in life and is kind of in those immature stages of trying to like practically apply lessons. So I think what they focus on can be a lot more about, maybe delusions of grandeur that they need to come to terms with or something like that. Because I think this person, like Knight energy gives me this really zesty, like almost cocky energy, because it's no longer a page, but it's still, it doesn't have the maturity of a queen or a knight. So, or a queen or a king. So it gives me this energy of being very kind of like forthright with things, but not willing to consider that there's a depth to it that you're not considering. Again, that can kind of be a selfish vibe just in general. So this person's heart is speaking very loudly on just not being ready to connect, but wanting to take from people. And I know that's not always a great message to hear. I don't think that's ever been a great message to hear, especially if you're the one that feels like you're giving to this person. But I don't know. It just does not feel very sincere from their heart. In their head, it seems like a game plan. It seems like something that they're using, like I said, to their advantage. They know that they can get something from you that will help their position, that will stoke that fire for them without them even having to do anything. That's kind of their resourcefulness in them, is that they realize that their charisma can really get them somewhere, but then all of a sudden they just like hide away that charisma once they've gotten what they've wanted, and they're like, okay, I don't need this anymore, and then they'll run away. And it's like, okay, well, like you just got completely your fill and like intoxicated me and then threw me away. It's that wheel of fortune of like whatever was going up good is coming down and vice versa. So this person's constantly in like a little, like a hamster wheel almost of their own like trial and error with things. And I don't think they realize that it's that, it's not getting them that far, because the Seven of Swords leads into the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, which are all about mental stresses and stuff. So I feel like this person sets themselves up to feel detached from people, and like they need to detach from people and preserve like this because of the ways that they underhandedly relate to them and underhandedly give to relationships and underhandedly seek to connect with people. There's something very strongly almost forbidden about this person's energy. Like they don't necessarily want people in their space, and that's why almost all of these energies are like outward focused. Like this person focuses their heart on other people because what they have in their heart it's like empty. It's a void. There's not much there that feels good to this person. So they focus on, the hearts of other people. So what do we have for more messages here? Yeah, we have, I have bad intentions. I could have told you that. I did tell you that. The father wound. I miss how things used to be. Fantasies. We have gossip. I'm not interested. I can't understand your point of view. And I'm not who you think I am. Okay, it's funny. This group is so different than the other two. So this is the only, I just feel, it's just, I don't want to call a spade here. And that is on brand for this person's energy. Like they don't want to say, I feel this way, so that is a good sign. Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to identify things. And that's why I feel like they have bad intentions, is because they're willing to take, but if they label it, that's an issue. I think that's the father wound here too, is like, a mother is more about defining, whereas a father is more about being able to take that definition that the mom has or that the mother energy has and lighten it up. And the father wound here being not able to lighten it up. So I think this person can sense other people's intentions or their feelings, and instead of having matching good intentions, or, you know, like if they recognize that you want to be with them or something like that, instead of, you know, doing the fatherly energy of like aiding that mother's intention of like feeling, which is like that divine feminine coming from you, you know, their masculine energy is more so calling this like, I'm not interested sort of thing. I feel like with gossip here, I feel like this person is just two-faced. That's their bad intention, is that they, you know, might seem like they are very interested and like they really want something here, but I think their intentions are a lot more about them being able to kind of burn you by doing whatever they want. And it's not like they want to burn you, but I think that's that father moon within them, is that they want to show you that they have their individuality, and they might be doing it in toxic ways. So it's interesting because we have I'm not interested, but I don't think that they're actually not interested. I just think that they have to tell themselves that they're not interested in order to keep the narrative alive that they want to be alive. We have I miss how things used to be. So maybe you guys used to have a little bit more of like an opener connection, and then once they got into it, it got misconstrued. I believe this is the pile I was talking about, them not being able to kind of ground things like I don't know, like sexually or something like that, like having really high expectations, but when it comes to actually like doing the thing, like they can be very like weird about it or something. Like so with miss things, how when it says I miss how things used to be, it makes me feel like this person gets in their head and they ruin everything for themselves. So even the fantasies that they thought they could live out, they can't live them out. And that's what is interesting here, is then they try to live them out, but in ways that are underhanded. So we have, I can't understand your point of view. I think it's, you know, it's that nativity of the Knave of Pentacles. I think they don't understand their point of view because they haven't even tried. They don't try. They do things underhanded. They try to manipulate and be mischievous rather than being authentic and honorable. That's another of the father wound sort of thing. So of course they can't understand your point of view. You're being authentic to somebody who is not authentic. So it's very hard for them to, you know, honor that in relationships. And then I'm not who you think I am. That's funny because it's coming out with this Knight of Chalices. So I feel like this person, in their heart, when they do choose to come forward, it's always coated with this layer of insincerity. And that's why, you know, they're not who you think they are, because what they're doing in their mind is tainting their heart. And I don't think this person realizes how deep it stems, but every single one of these cards here has this deeper intention of self-preservation and, you know, kind of creating a status of superiority between you and them. So it's not super healthy in that regard. It doesn't feel like this person is very well aligned. If anything, their head and their heart are very intertwined. They're very meshed together. They don't have a lot of balance between their emotions and their heart with their more logical, you know, more detached part of self. So I think this person is kind of struggling quite a bit. And it would be very well advised to probably take some step back away from them, at least until you felt that there was some more sincerity in their energy, because this person is very much lacking sincerity, very much lacking authenticity, and very much lacking this sort of honorable way to go about life, which is leading through your heart. So, you know, as much as the mental things can kind of, you know, sway us, and that's not a bad thing, I do feel like this person has learned to, you know, take that mental sway as a power rather than recognizing that it's all a learning lesson, like I said. So yeah, group 3, I hope this message helped you guys and gave you some clarity. And if it did, please give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like so. If you want to book a personal reading with me, check out the link below, as always, to my snip feed. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever else you are at online. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Peace.